Hi everyone, it's Stephen from Valued Accountancy, and welcome to Chris from Chaser. I'm absolutely delighted that we're going to do this session today, all about credit control, the good, the bad, and the ugly of credit control. What a difference credit control and getting your debtors can make to a business owner. Let's be brutally honest. I'll just have a quick word before I introduce Chris here. Sorry, Chris, but I think one of the big things that we do as business owners is we put other people first. We forget to chase our invoices in. We forget to chase our debt in. Why do we do that? Because we don't want an awkward conversation with the client. We don't want to have to them, oh, please pay me. Everyone's in a pandemic. Everyone's struggling right now. Sorry, Chris. Welcome. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Thanks so much, Stephen. No, great to be here, and I'm doing fantastic today. Thank you. Yeah, doing really well.
Fantastic. So, Chris, can you tell us a little bit about Chaser and what your role is within Chaser and what Chaser is?
Yeah,
for those that don't know.
By all means, yeah. So, Chaser are we automate the accounts receivables process and speed up debt collection to help users of Chaser get paid on time, in time, ultimately. So we integrate with accounting software, mainly Xero, but also with QuickBooks and with Sage Online as well. And we pull in all the invoices that are there in the Xero system. And we have a function in place in Chaser to automatically chase those late payments and bad debts. So ultimately, businesses before that were using a credit controller or the MD of the business that was spending time and effort actually chasing those payments that was overdue, so over 30 days, over 60 days, etc. That process is completely automated with Chaser. So it enables you to do it and do it in a personalized way. So one of the big things around Chaser, Stephen, is we don't want to lose a human touch. And I think for chasing to be effective, it needs to match a tone of voice from the business. So we enable our users to put in the content of their emails, copy the information across from Xero, and chase debts in an effective way. So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
That's absolutely fantastic. And let's just, for pure transparency, I've been a user of Chaser for 6 years, I think it is, something like that. It's a long time now that I've used Chaser within Valued, and I absolutely love the software. We'll talk a little bit later on, I would imagine, about how Valued have implemented Chaser, what we've done and the difference that it's made for us. I'd love to see some comments coming through from everybody that's just watching it, so please say hi, let us know how you're doing. Obviously, there was the budget yesterday. Everybody's head was like, oh, what the heck do we do after that thing? We're here talking about credit control and getting paid today, which obviously impacts everything in terms of your business ongoing. Let's be honest, cash is king. Yeah, without the cash in your business will suffer. So I guess one of the questions that I quite often get asked is, what's the common problems in getting paid? What's your views on that, Chris?
Yeah, great question, Stephen. I mean, businesses naturally want to hold on to cash for as long as possible. And especially those businesses that extend payment terms, they want to keep hold of that cash as long as possible. But if we think it from the supplier perspective per se, actually you're providing a good or service, lending it to that customer for a period of time, whether it's 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it would be, without anything in place really to get that back on time. And the impact of something being paid overdue, so over that 30 days or over that 60 days or over that 90 days, has a massive impact in terms of your forecasting, in terms of your cash flow. I guess if you look back at 2019, Stephen, Xero and PayPal did a survey, and they said 48% of all invoices in the SME sector are paid late, which is absolutely incredible. And the impact that has on businesses, especially the small and medium enterprises who are relying on those funds to pay their staff within their business. But as you mentioned before, the pandemic has kind of exacerbated that problem. So we've seen an increase of 209%, 209, since the start of the pandemic with late payments, and roughly about 225 billion is owed to UK SMEs now, which is a core reason, let's be blunt, as you said before, Stephen, it's a core reason why businesses go out of business. It's estimated about 50,000 businesses actually don't reopen their doors again because of late payments and payments that are due to them, which is hugely frustrating. But obviously around that, there's a big cost in terms of actually chasing that late payment and bad debt. And the other problems, I guess, it provides or it challenges businesses with It's having that difficulty forecast. If I don't know when that money's coming into my business account, I don't know how I can forecast going forward. It's kind of stifling then my business growth. It's stopping me to be able to create jobs as an SME owner within my business, and creates a massive reliance on debt and equity financing. As you mentioned before there, Stephen, it's, there's that option to look at funding to get payment due for what you're owed, which is, a huge frustration for a lot of SMEs. And actually, I was reading a stat the other night, which is incredible. More than half of small businesses have used their own savings or borrowed friends' money to keep their business going because of late payments. So again, massive frustration and a big hassle for our SME clients.
I think that's so true, isn't it? Let's be honest. I think you mentioned there 209% increase in late payment because of the pandemic or during the pandemic. 225 billion is now overdue. I'm an accountant. My head can't comprehend what 225 billion. How many zeros is in that? Wow. What I know as a business owner is that if I don't get paid off my clients, we don't get paid off our clients, and that keeps me awake at night. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh, can I pay payroll this month? Oh, I've got to have an awkward discussion with the supplier because I haven't been paid. Thankfully, we're in a position where we can pay payroll. We've not missed payroll ever. We're in a position where we can pay suppliers. But not every business is in that fortunate position. And what I've seen far too many times in the last 12 months is business owners have gone out there and they've just said, they've just said, thank you very much, Mr. Bartley's, whatever it might be, bank, we'll have your £50,000 bank bounce back loan, we'll put it in the bank, and we'll forget about our debtors. We'll forget about chasing our customers. Why? Because we don't want to upset them, because they're in the same storm as us. They're not getting paid off their clients. They're not getting paid off their customers. They've got no cash flow coming through. So what is the impact on that? To me, it's vitally important that we have discussions around credit control. We have discussions to say, right, what difference can we make by speaking to our clients, to our customers, and making sure that we are on a payment run, making sure that we are getting something. Is there any quick tips, any quick advice you would say, Chris, just for people to get paid, just some quick wins?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the first piece is to agree payment terms and get them documented with your customers. I think that's a key piece. And, most SMEs who extend trade credit will want to extend that trade credit. Will want to provide it as a piece of goodwill for their clients. And ultimately, by agreeing with your customer or your client a term, which is, maybe, as I mentioned before, 14 days or 30 days or 60 or 90 days or whatever it might be, and you document that and even sign that piece of paperwork there, there's an agreement between both parties that that's kind of being paid. I think the other piece as well is quite often businesses don't chase late payments until after the payment is due. And actually, by implementing a process like within Chaser, where you can start sending subtle messages before the debt is due, will support putting that invoice to the top of the pile, whether that's going to an MD of an organization, whether it's going to the credit control team within an organization. Again, there won't be any priority system necessarily in place at their end that they'll put in place for paying invoices that are due. So it's usually in a chronological type order, but actually quite often we find the loudest, or the people who shout the loudest, gets put to that top of the queue. And again, that's what Chaser ultimately aims to do. We aim to help our customers survive, grow and succeed by automating this whole process and taking away, that headache of chasing late payments. It's estimated about 336 hours a year typically are spent by SMEs in the UK doing the ineffective kind of intensive accounts receivable tasks that really nobody wants to do. It's not a particular pleasant thing having to keep chasing invoice month after month after month, but ultimately it's what we have to do. It's how we bring it in. And again, that's the problems we try to solve at Chaser by making it automated and humanized. So it feels that it comes from a human being. And we believe the premise of credit checking and credit chasing is by looking like it comes from a human, there's a high propensity for that to be responded to and be paid.
And I think you're so right. I know David Tuck many years ago, when he was involved with Chaser a lot more, he used to use the word polite, persistent pays. And it was actually, that made me think a lot about actually, what is the relationship with clients? How do you chase it? Because ultimately, as a business owner, you want to go out, you want to get the sale, you want to do the work, and you want to get paid. But actually, you don't really, you're happy at the point of actually signing them up. The client's happy at the point of the work being done, but you don't want to spoil the relationship of having to go, can you pay me, please? Yeah, because people think that automatically, as soon as you start to go to them and say, can you pay me? It's disrespectful. It's causing problems. You're going to lose the next sale. Actually, if you are polite, you are persistent, and you do get paid, and that makes a lot of sense to me. One of my very good friends, he used to have a business where his biggest customer was the local authority, and one of the things that he used to do was he used to send a box of biscuits in to the credit controller within, or the person that paid the money within the council. So every year he would turn up at Christmas. There you are, give her a box of biscuits, just to make sure that his name was always on the top of the pile. Yeah, and it's sometimes so basic about that. It's about having a relationship with a client as well. And I think that's where Chaser does come into it. And we'll talk a little bit later on about a fantastic offer that us at Valued are happy to give people to help them to implement software and to get you paid quicker. Yeah, but I think it might just be helpful to run through how we've used Chaser within Valued, if that's okay, Chris. Yeah.
So, by all means, yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. So what we did many, many years ago was, as I say, David Tuck, when he very first set the business up, he came to us and went, you need to set Chaser up. Yep, okay, I'll set that up. And I didn't. Let's be honest, it's another bit of software. We all can't be bothered to implement another bit of software. It's probably going to spoil the relationship with our clients. That was my perception. What I actually did was I sat with David and we implemented it. And I think it took half an hour tops to implement it and to make the chasers, the messages, the emails that went out to customers sound like it was coming from me, sound like it was coming out from Valued. So you mentioned, Chris, there before about a pre-chaser. So from us, as a template that goes out 3 days before an invoice is due, just saying, hi, Chris, hope you're well. You got an invoice that's due in 3 days' time. Any problems, let me know. Excuse me. 7 days later, so after the 7 days is up, you then get another reminder which says, hey, Chris, hope you're well. The invoice is probably in the back of the van or down the settee or some other place, and it hasn't ended up on your system. Can you dig it out and put it on? Any problems, let me know. And then it escalates and escalates and escalates, yeah? And it actually goes through different stages. So a lot of the chasers go out from Kate, and then it escalates from myself. Because let's be honest, sometimes as soon as the boss gets involved, for want of a better phrase, and I hate that phrase, but as soon as the boss gets involved, or that client manager or whatever it might be gets involved, so the client, the customer thinks, oh, so serious, I better pay it now. Yes, so sometimes you need that escalation process in there as well. But we set the system up, and I forgot about it. I went off to Lanzarote with Kate and Lucy, I think, at the time, and we were sitting and we're having tapas. And a really strange thing happened. My phone started buzzing, and it was messages from Barclays Bank at the time, and people were paying me. So I'm sitting in Lanzarote, 3,000 miles away, or whatever it was, and I'm sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, what's going on here? I'm getting paid. Actually, what had happened was the chasers had gone out an hour beforehand, and people were starting to pay me, and it was absolutely fantastic. I'd forgot it was there. It was just running in the background without me having to do it. I can't remember the number of hours you said there, Chris, that people typically spend on credit control, but within Valued, we spend less than an hour a week, I would say, doing credit control now. It's absolutely transformed how we work. It is and feels like part of Valued. So it's not like having a different system. Chris, could you just tell us a little bit about Chaser and how you guys operate from a pricing point of view, potentially, if that's okay?
Yeah, by all means. And just going back to your last point there, Stephen, I mean, our whole ethos at Chaser here is we believe that credit control should be an extension of customer service. So we don't try to classify it something different to that. We try not to make it an emotive subject within there. So we believe for customers to respond positively to requests for payment, their experience should be completely aligned with the tone of voice of your organization. So you can use the phrases that you typically use within Chaser to do that chasing as you're escalating up. And as you said before, certainly from a business perspective, you can escalate it up to the MD within the business, and chase at various levels across the board. So yeah, I mean, our pricing level, we've got 4 pricing SKUs, 4 pricing plans, should I say. We've got a basic plan, which is really people testing Chaser for the first time. That's £29 per month. And that includes a number of one schedule within there. It doesn't include domain verification, which is one of the big differentiators, let me get my words out right there, between Chaser and Xero. We all know that Xero's got a chasing functionality within there. Those emails that come from Xero are automated, as we know, and they come from Xero with his Xero email address in there. With Chaser, you can put in DNS verification, again, get my words out again. And within there, the emails that come out will look like they're coming from your email inbox. And any future correspondence will be captured into your personal email inbox as well. So again, it looks and feels like it comes from yourself. But yeah, that was a basic plan. Our standard plan is at £69 per month. And that increases the volume of invoices chased from 50 invoices up to 250. Then we've got our professional plan, which is from £89 per month. Again, both the standard and the professional plan actually come with our new release payment portal, Stephen, which enables Chaser to provide customers to this new link, this new payment portal, from which they're able to make payments via Stripe or bank transfer. So again, just another tool in the chasing emails to try and get clients to get paid faster, or pay you faster. And that's, I guess, our whole mantra within there. And then we've got the final SKU, which is the enterprise SKU. That's from £225 a month. And that's, a lot of larger businesses will come to us. So, for example, we had a large publication, the New Statesman within the UK, wanting to implement Chaser with another account software, Accounts IQ, and they've gone onto that plan. We've built a bespoke integration into Accounts IQ, and they're using that successfully now. So that's our kind of 4 pricing SKUs, but you can find it. If you any more detail you require, please go to chaserhq.com and you can see all the pricing and the differences between all the plans there.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I think the vast majority of the people that are watching this probably have less than 250 invoices going out a month. So at the very most, it's either £29 a month or £69 a month. If you think about how long it takes to actually get those invoices chased, implement a bit of software like Chaser just saves so much time, which in effect makes it an absolute no-brainer from a costing point of view there. So I would highly recommend it, highly recommend it. I guess one of the other things that we get asked quite a bit as well is, why do people not get paid? What's the problems that people come across? What reasons is there for not getting paid? Have you got any thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah, great question again. And there's a number of different reasons. And, a lot of the time it's down to processes within the organization. So, at times I've mentioned before about a credit control department, not having not putting that invoice as a priority to go out. And, again, what gets shouted out about the most, typically gets put to the top of the pile. So that happens, a lot of the times in the credit control departments. But quite often as well, especially around the smaller businesses want to hold on to cash as long as possible. So ultimately, when you've purchased a product or service on terms and you've got the ability to keep that cash in your business as long as possible, the likelihood is people will do that. It's just the nature of the beast. But by having a process in there to chase those through, that's exactly what we do at Chaser. Coming to your point, Stephen, around not getting paid. So actually, when you're kind of pulling your hair out thinking, hold on a second, this is well above terms now. I've escalated this. I've tried to chase. We understand that there will be situations like that in Chaser. And within our application, we've built a collection service. So we've got a team of in-house, ethically trained collections team who will pursue that invoice within Chaser and update the CRM. So you as a client will be completely updated in terms of the progression of that chase, and we will attempt to get that back for our customers. So that's done on a no-win, no-fee basis. We charge between 5 to 15% for that service, which again, is very, very reasonable, looking at some of the charges that are made across other firms. And it's obviously on a no-win, no-fee basis. And that 5 to 15% is dependent on the age of the invoice. Typically, longer invoices, if it's 3 or 4 years old, may take longer to get paid, and the amount within the invoice there. So we'll just charge a kind of flat percentage fee upfront, goes across to our team. Our team in London will make proactive outbound calls to that client within the UK and try to recover that debt. And I know that you've had some success, Stephen, with doing this from your organisation as well.
We have. I hate to say it, but we had one client that, and let's be brutally honest, yeah, I was very, very guilty of this. I did not want to chase people at the start of the pandemic. I didn't want to chase people 3 months in the pandemic. I didn't want to chase people 6 months in the pandemic, because actually it felt really wrong. We want to help clients. We want to support clients. We didn't want to add to their pain. Now, what we found was actually some clients totally took the urine there, and some clients just didn't pay. So we then had a horrible discussion with some clients, and unfortunately we had one client that just was never going to pay. So we ended up using Chaser to escalate that, using the collection service there, and we got paid for that invoice, which was absolutely fantastic. It meant that actually we didn't sour the relationship with ourselves, because all the communications actually went out from Chaser, and that really, really worked for us. But I think a big part of it is you want credit control to be painless. You don't want to have to think a lot about it. You don't want to have to have nasty conversations with people, because let's be honest, as business owners, none of us want to go and have a nasty conversation with somebody saying, can you pay? It's easier to go onto your app on your phone, your Facebook session, whatever it might be, and the iWalker advert will come up, or the Funding Circle advert will come up, or the Bounce Back Loan advert will come up, and you'll go, oh yeah, I'll apply for that, because the pressure's taken away. Actually, that's not taking away the pressure. That's taking away the problem today, but you've still got the credit control problem that you've always had. So it's about, for me, implement a system that's there for the longer term, implement a system that actually works, is proven to work, but actually will enable you to have a better night's sleep. Because one of the things that I know is that when I talk to clients about what keeps them awake in the middle of the night, it's credit control. It's about not having enough cash. And the discussion none of us want to have is, can you please pay me? Yeah, because we don't like that awkward discussion. In the past, there was all sorts of different things that you would have done there. The banks would have come along potentially and said, you know what, let's factor the debt. There's a place for factoring, invoice discounting, I think it's called now. There's a place for that, but ultimately a good, effective credit control process will help your business to succeed. I'd love any questions that people have got. I can see some thumbs up, some hearts, some likes coming through there. So if you've got any questions for either myself or Chris, please do let us know. But what I'd love to do as well is just to tell you a little bit about the offering that Valued are going to do in conjunction with Chaser. As I mentioned there, it has been a long and hard road, this pandemic. Yeah, we're 9 months into it. There's a lot of businesses that have suffered. There's a lot of business owners that have really struggled. Chris, you mentioned before, I think it was 50,000 businesses are expected to not open the doors again because credit control hasn't worked. One of the things that we built Valued on was about being there to help business owners through the pandemic, about being there to help business owners have a better night's sleep, about being there to help business owners take away the worry, the stress, the pain, the heartache, and everything else that goes alongside it. So what we would like to do is we would like to give away a Chaser for up to 250 invoices per month, free for any new client that is not on Chaser right now. So 3 months Chaser free. So it's either £29 times by 3 for free, or £69 times by 3 for free. The only stipulation that we have on that is we would like to help you to actually set it up properly. If you don't get it set up properly, it doesn't look and feel like your business. So we want to work with you just to make sure that we can get that set up for you. For the bigger businesses, might be a nominal charge for that. One of the things that we'll actually do is with any money that we make on this, we are going to give to a charity. If it's a smaller implementation, just a very small one, and we can use some templates and things like that, we'll just do it for you. But if there is a little bit of an implementation fee there, the maximum that we look at is £50. We will donate 100% of that to charity. That's where value's at. Yeah, I know the problems that people have with credit control. I know the problems that people have with being shouty at the wife, at the husband, at the girlfriend, at the boyfriend, whatever it might be, because you're worried that you're not going to get paid. You're worried that you're not going to be able to pay the payroll at the end of the month. We know that effective credit control will help us to have a more effective cash flow. We also know that if we do cash flow statements and cash flow forecasts, something else that we'll be delighted to help clients with, we know that businesses that do budgets and cash flows succeed a heck of a lot more than those that don't. So please do get in touch with us. Chris, that's all that I would like to say. I don't know if there's anything else that you would like to add.
No, I guess just coming back on your points there, Stephen, I guess, Chase is certainly worth, trying and implementing it right up front is fantastic. So I know the value team are experts at implementation of Chaser, which is great. It's not a massive piece of work, but just to get that tone of voice right for your business is a key part. But our businesses typically say that they get paid 16 days sooner with using Chaser. They save about upwards of 15 hours a week on accounts receivable management and reduce a day's sales outstanding by 25%. So we've actually been around for quite a while. We've been around since 2014, as Stephen mentioned before with the conversations with David Tuck, and we've got over 400 5-star reviews on the Xero App Store. So we're the highest rated receivables application on there. And we've recently started measuring Net Promoter Score, which is a propensity for our clients to refer us as a great provider. And we've got an NPS of 62 currently, which we're super proud of. The average NPS across the SaaS industry, software as a service industry, is hovering around 30 at the minute. So we're confident that once you use Chaser, once you have it implemented by Stephen and his team, you'll love it. You'll find it'll save you loads of time, loads of hassle, loads of stress, and give you that time back and reduce those accounts receivables. And that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 16 days. Yes, 16 days. That actually, just very quickly, I forgot to mention one of the other advice that I heard many, many years ago, and something that we did at Valued as well, was we changed our payment terms. So historically, payment terms are typically 30 days. What we did was we changed it to 7 days. We know we'll send an invoice out in 7 days. We might get paid in 14, but we'll 9 times out of 10 get paid in 30. If you send an invoice out with 30 days credit terms on it, you generally get paid the stats show in 45 to 60 days. So it's always helpful to shorten the terms, to have the conversations with the customers, be upfront, be open, be honest, and actually build that relationship, and then keep on chasing through wonderful bits of software like Chaser. So Chris, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really do appreciate it. I'd love anybody that would like to know more information about the Valued and Chaser offer just to contact us. Put some comments in the link below on any tips that you've got on credit control, anything that's worked for you as well. We'd love to have your feedback. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Stay safe.